Hi, this is Chad, VP of Products, and in this video we're going to take a look at the newest plugin from Slate Digital called Infinity Horizon. Now this is a resonant suppression plugin, and if you've never heard of that before, basically what it does is it constantly monitors the frequency spectrum of the audio coming in, looking for any unexpected little errant spikes in the frequencies, these resonant frequencies, and then quickly turns them down. These resonant frequencies, depending on where they occur, can make audio sound brittle or harsh or boxy or boomy. So resonant suppressors are a bit more of an audio restoration and repair tool, regardless of what you might have heard. These are not kind of automagic, fix everything, make it sound better kind of tools. You have to be careful about when you use this, because if you've got something that actually sounds good already, using a resonant suppressor can actually make it sound worse by taking away frequencies that should actually be there. So just like any other tool, EQs, compressors, and whatnot, it's important to know how and when to use a resonant suppressor, otherwise you could end up doing more damage than good. So in order to demonstrate this, I've got a track that's probably over 20 years old now. It was recorded by a band that was on a tight budget, so they didn't come into the studio to track. They did it all at home using whatever gear they had laying around, which was probably not the most top-end gear, not high-quality mics or anything like that. And in fact, this was before YouTube, so they didn't have the ability to check out videos like this to get some quick pointers on how to record. As far as I know, they just pointed whatever mics they had at their instruments, made sure levels were showing up, and then hit record and played, and sent me the tracks. And as a result, man, some of these things just do not sound good. But this is a kick-ass song, and so for the last 20 years, I've kind of been revisiting it off and on, seeing how much better I can make it sound as technology evolves, as I get more access to plugins like those in the Complete Access subscription. And now with Infinity Horizon, I think I finally have that last little bit that I need to make this thing sound awesome. Way better than anyone would have conceived 20 years ago when they originally sent these tracks to me to get mixed. So let's take a look at how to apply Infinity Horizon on hotel rooms by the Wind Up Merchants. All right, so this is Infinity Horizon, and I'm going to start using it on the guitar part. So I'm going to begin here. I've got the guitars soloed, and we're just going to take a listen to what I got. That is a really dark guitar tone. I don't know what's going on there, if it's the amp, the settings, the mic, how it was pointed at the amp, you know, all of these factors can influence the sound. But regardless, this is really dark. And as I have discovered when trying to fix this, just using a high shelf to try to boost up the high frequencies that I think are missing doesn't really help, because there really isn't any tone up here. This is all just kind of noise. It's weird. So I discovered a little trick a while ago, which was to actually use a format shift on those guitars to shift the frequencies up, and now it sounds like this. Aha! That's more of what I was expecting. So this is really cool, but it's a little harsh. It's kind of like 2 steps forward, 1 step back. I figured out how to fix that high end, but now I've got this harshness that I have to fight. And I'm going to use Infinity Horizon to fix that. And just before we get started with that, I want to explain some of the things that Infinity Horizon is showing on the screen here. We've got this red line going through here, and you can see it's moving around. It's generally following the shape of the guitars, the frequency spectrum, and it moves around, so it's always adapting. That way it only really identifies peaks that stick out away from this just generalized shape. Now these controls down here in the bottom left, they control this red line. So turning up the resolution will make it much more detailed, so there's more peaks and troughs now, and you can see it actually more closely follows the shape of the guitar. In fact, it's almost tracking the pitch in some cases here. And also down here is the heat map, and it is corresponding to the frequencies that are here as well. So anytime a frequency stays constant, you can kind of see it start lighting up in the heat map down here. And you can click on it to move around and preview areas in it, which is kind of nice. All right, so there's this frequency here. No matter what Josh is playing, this frequency just stays there. It's really weird. I mean, these other ones move around because he's changing the notes that he's playing. That's what these are representing, but this is just some kind of constant noise. In fact, I can kind of see it sticking out a little bit here, but it's not sticking out as clearly as it does on this heat map. So what I'm going to do, since that's just a constant frequency, I'm going to first take that out using Infinity EQ. That was at 5.2 kilohertz, so I'm going to turn that on. That's better. Okay, so now with Infinity EQ2 on there, now this has got rid of that little, spiky frequency. It's way down, which is good. But there's still a bit of harshness here. So I'm going to start turning up the amount to get some suppression happening. Yeah, and you can see these lines start appearing here at the top. That is the frequencies that are getting attenuated. If I turn this up more and more, it takes out more and more. Not really sounding good. That's too much. So I'm going to back it off a bit. But it's also kind of not very specific. It's not taking out the high end that I want. And that's because it is tracking very closely. I want to turn down the resolution a bit so that the reference curve becomes a little more generalized. And now we can see it's cutting a bit more, things that really stick out at times. But again, it's really leaning into the mid frequencies here, which are the tonal frequencies that we actually want to keep. So I'm going to use this tilt control to now tilt the entire curve over. And now you can see that it's the high frequencies that are getting more control now. Without. Got that upper kind of high constant harshness. And that smooths it out. Very nice. And I'm also going to take the left-right link and turn it all the way down. And now the left and right guitars will be processed independently. So that allows the suppression to happen uniquely on each of the guitars instead of having the same suppression applied to both channels at the same time. Very cool. Now there's also a delta button up here. When we turn that on, we can hear what it's taking out. Yeah, and that's mostly up in the upper frequencies, which is what I wanted. Yeah. All right, so I think we can start moving on from this. And what I'm going to do now is I'm going to add in the vocals, which sound like this. They actually sound decent, which is pretty good. Out of all the things in this track, the vocals came out all right. But in order to help it sit better against the guitars, I'm going to use a second instance of Infinity Horizon here on the guitar track. And what I'm going to do is engage the side chain. And so what's going to end up happening now is it's the audio from the vocals that are coming in. And that is what Infinity Horizon is going to use to turn down various frequencies. So anytime the vocal frequencies clash with the shape of the guitar, it's going to turn those frequencies in the guitar down, which is going to leave room for the vocals in the mix. So let's start doing that. So again, this is the guitar track here, but we see the vocals actually coming in and causing the gain reduction in the various frequencies. I don't sleep at night, I wonder what that means. Now, I don't know if you noticed, but the vocal comes through really clear now. In fact, let's go back and do that again. Without. I don't sleep at night, I wonder what that means. With. It actually sounds like the vocals got a little bit louder, and that's only because the guitars are getting pushed back. Here, let me show you. Let me turn off the vocals, and then we can hear what that sounds like on the guitar. You hear the shape of the guitar changing in response to those vocals. It sounds totally weird by itself, But when the vocals are layered back in, you don't notice those frequencies are missing because the vocal frequencies and the guitar frequencies basically add together, creating a nice smooth wall of sound. But it just allows the intelligibility of the vocals to come through a little clearer. Now what I'm going to do is I'm also going to start changing some of these controls here. So while I was explaining earlier, these knobs control this red line. All the controls up here in this window control the gain reduction that's happening up here at the top. And yeah, so we already know how this works. The more we turn this up, the more the gain reduction happens. But if I turn up the sharpness, now the gain reduction spikes that you see coming down, they're going to get sharper. Yeah, they're getting thinner and thinner. So now they're just more focused on the exact frequencies coming from the vocals. When this sharpness is down, it's going to be, maybe the offending frequency plus some of the ones nearby, which maybe we don't want to get rid of. So yeah, here it's probably cutting out too much of the guitar. But if I really focus this in, now it's really only going to take out the frequencies that are components of the vocals, making this fit together even more like a jigsaw puzzle. So let's check that out. Let me put this back up. I think this was at +2, right?
I don't sleep at night, I wonder what that
now that's
means.
really transparent.
Mine is filling with these terrific scenes.
Yeah.
I don't want to see what's out beyond the door. Isn't that what hotel
So that's really cool. All right, so the next thing I want to take a look at is the overhead mics on the drums. And I'm going to go ahead and just play those soloed as they were delivered so we can hear what we're starting with. Okay, yeah, that crash cymbal, oh, it is harsh. In fact, there's a really kind of harsh high end on that hi-hat too. Oh yeah, that actually sounds okay right here when he's playing like closed hi-hat. Not the best overheads. But that crash cymbal is just shredding my ears. In fact, when I have been working on this track in the past, I could walk away from a mixing session with my ears ringing. Not because I was listening too loud while working, but just because there were these resonant frequencies in that cymbal that were just, killing my ear like an ice pick. In fact, if we look at the heat map, you can see all these constant frequencies just start showing up right here when that cymbal comes in. And I think this is what was killing my ears, because as soon as that cymbal stops, they go away. Right? It's only from that one cymbal. There they are. Ooh. And unfortunately, he plays them here, all through here, and all through here. I mean, it's mostly that cymbal that he's killing throughout this track. So this has to get fixed. And yeah, so let's try fixing this with Infinity Horizon. First start with some attenuation. And yeah, it's definitely working a little harder on that cymbal section. But you can see when the cymbal stops, it still keeps working in this area, even though there's not really a problem there anymore. And that's because this line is constantly adapting to the sound that's coming in. So once that cymbal goes away, this line drops, and therefore it's only now starting to remove frequencies that are sticking out from the hi-hat. But when that cymbal comes back, this line goes up, and so it's trying to find frequencies that might be sticking out a little bit from that cymbal, which it is doing. But the problem is I really don't want things taken out when that cymbal is not playing. I really only want to fix that one cymbal, which is kind of tough when you have everything mixed together like this, the kick, snare, overheads, and toms, and everything like that. Oh, I gotta stop that. That is just rough. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make use of the custom curve. Now, as you probably noticed a moment ago, when he actually just started playing on the hi-hat, things sounded okay. There was no cymbal there. There were no nasty frequencies showing up in the heat map. So what I want to do is I want to learn the frequency curve in that spot and then freeze it. And that is what this learn button is for. So I'm going to click it once he closes the hi-hat. Right there. So now we're learning this shape. And I'm going to stop learning right before the hi-hat opens again. Right there. Okay, now you can see what's happening. This line is not changing shape anymore, and as a result, there is much more attenuation happening now whenever that cymbal comes in. Right, let's run it back. Here it was with the hi-hat. There are still resonant frequencies that it's fighting, which is fine. But now just watch what happens when that cymbal comes in. Woo! Yeah, now it's fighting really hard. That's exactly what I want. That's good. It's already taken a lot off the top end here. In fact, we can start comparing it. Oh, yeah. That definitely brings things down. Very good. Okay, but there's a few more things we can do here, because as you can see, it's obviously taking out kick and snare and stuff like that. Like I mentioned at the top of this video, resonant suppressors can take out frequencies that should be there. So we've got some strategies to leave the ones behind that should be there. And the easiest way to do that is multiband mode. So when I turn that on, that splits this spectrum into 4 sections. And I can move these dividers around, and I can also change the thresholds of these individual sections to customize the behavior in each of these 4 areas I defined. Now I'm just going to turn off these bottom 2 because the kick and the snare and the toms and everything that's happening there, that's all fine. I'm not worried about that. I'm more worried about that crash cymbal and maybe a little bit of the hi-hat high end as well. So I'm going to play this and then center these things around those areas. Let's maybe take a look back here. Yeah, so I think the cymbal starts more about right here, so. And it looks like it ends around here. Yeah, and then that's hi-hat up there, you can see. So again, yeah, cymbal is mostly right in here. Let's make sure we get that one too. And then when it switches over to the hi-hat, yeah, it tends to add some high end up here. So I think I've got these set pretty well. Yeah. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is start adjusting these thresholds. So what I want is for to have some really aggressive reduction on this cymbal. And then balance out the hi-hat as well. Yeah. Okay. That's pretty good. I'll probably even back this off just a touch now that I've increased that. All right, so what I'm also going to do is I'm going to turn off the left-right link because these are stereo overheads. And that crash cymbal that we heard is a bit more on the right side. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the pan control here to slide this over to the right. And you can see we now have 2 gain reduction lines up here. There's like an orange one and a red one. So the orange one is showing that there's kind of more reduction happening in the right channel right now. And actually I'm going to do the opposite here, whoops, on the hi-hat and move that over to the left. Okay, so the high frequencies are going to be a bit more suppressed on the left side, where these high mids are going to be more suppressed on the right side. Yeah, because he's got a crash on the left that actually sounds okay. So that still comes through clear. Yeah, it's just the one on the right now that's getting mashed down, which is good. And I'm also going to make this a bit sharper to really focus on those individual frequency spikes. I'm also going to make this work a little faster by turning the timing down. So yeah, with the timing up, everything works really slowly. You can see this, these lines are just moving slowly, but when I turn it down, now they start working really fast because I want to make sure I grab those resonant frequencies before they pop out. Be really quick about it, but then get out of the way as soon as they're not there anymore. Yeah, this is cool. And if I wanted to, I can still adjust the resolution So even though I did learn the curve, I still have full control of the resolution that's showing up in that curve down there. So I can even like save this curve, like 1 over heads, right? And then use this curve later in the next song, since I think it sounds pretty good. And yeah, just pull that curve out from this menu in the future, and that makes it nice and quick to use. All right, so yeah, I think we've managed to fix these overheads using the rest of the tricks there. And yeah, let's go ahead and blend in everything else and take a listen to how this mix currently sounds.
I don't want to see what's out beyond the door. Isn't that what hotel
Nice.
rooms are for?
It's so much nicer having that cymbal controlled. Oh my gosh. All right, and to finish this off, I've got Infinity Horizon loaded on the master channel. It's located just right before the final compression from FGX. And the way I've set this up is with the resolution knob set all the way down at 0. That, again, makes this turn into a flat line, a pink noise curve. White noise is all frequencies at the same volume all the way across, but pink noise gets attenuated as it goes up in frequency. And a lot of masters actually follow this curve. So I'm going to be basically using this as a straight edge, a ruler, against which the music should not exceed. Like I was saying at the beginning of the video, a resonant suppressor can actually take away frequencies that you want. And that's actually what I'm doing here. I'm doing this on purpose, but just doing it very slightly, only 17% to just give a little bit of final control. And I am doing this in mid-side mode. So instead of left-right channel processing, it's mid-side processing, and I've turned the link all the way down. So that way the mid-channel and the side channel will be processed separately, but in mid-side mode, that means if there are different suppressions that happen in each channel, it's not going to throw off the stereo image. It'll still stay centered where I originally set it. So yeah, I'll let the music play a bit, and I'll turn this off and on, and you can hear the difference that it makes. It's subtle, but yeah, when it's off, things get a little bit of like a little boxy. I think there's, bass and kick drum overlapping. When those frequencies overlap, they get a little bit louder. And with Infinity Horizon running, it's going to bring those down a little bit. So everything just feels a little bit tighter when Infinity Horizon is on. So check it out.
Waiting for the mere appearance of escape. Haven't gone too far, I think I will today. I don't want to see what's out beyond the door. Isn't that what hotel rooms are
Boxy.
I don't sleep at night, I wonder what that means. Mine is filling with these terrific scenes.
Troll.
I don't want to see what's out beyond the door. Isn't that what hotel rooms are for? I can't give another lame excuse. Don't you push me, 'cause I will refuse. I am not fucked, but I'm not okay. All I wanna do is to just get through and on away.
Yeah, that definitely helps tighten it up.
I don't want to see what's out beyond the door. Isn't that what hotel rooms are for? Fuck the bed, I'm gonna sleep down on the floor. Isn't that what hotel rooms are for? Isn't that what hotel rooms are for?
So there you go, that's Infinity Horizon. Now the point of this video was to cover all of the functions, modes, and controls in the plugin so that you would understand how to use it correctly. Kevin will be coming out with a series of videos showing many additional examples and creative applications for Infinity Horizon, so be sure to check those out. But of course, the best way to understand how a plugin like this really works is to try it out for yourself in your own music. Now, if you already are a subscriber to the Complete Access or All Access Pass subscriptions, well then you can just load up the Slate Digital Connect application and download and install Infinity Horizon today and immediately begin using it in your own music. But if you're not yet a subscriber, not a problem. Just head on over to slatedigital.com and sign up for the free Complete Access Bundle trial. You'll get access to Infinity Horizon, as well as all of the Slate Digital, Solid State Logic, and Harrison audio plugins. There's currently over 150 of them. Plus, you'll get access to the Virtue Assisted Mastering System, the Slate Sound Sample Library, and the Academy educational videos. All of this is included for one price. It's a great value. Or if you prefer to just buy Infinity Horizon, you can get yourself a perpetual license in our shop. Regardless of how you get your hands on it, I think you're going to love it. Now, before I sign off, I want to give a final thank you to the guys in the Wind Up Merchants. Thank you so much for letting me use your song in this video. I hope I didn't embarrass you by showing off any of the poor recordings that were in there, and I hope you're really happy with the final results. I know I am. So thanks a lot again, and I'll see you all in the next video.